They refer to the phenomena at Skinwalker Ranch as I believe, has the ability to communicate if we can understand or develop a common language at some point.
You're me.
So Eric Bard, I think you can expect to see in the future, hopefully, some communication. I think whatever we're dealing with is highly intelligent. I will not be surprised if at some point we are able to somehow determine how to communicate, or at least see, I think, more intelligent interaction.
So you think this, what do you call this?
Well, those who came before me with the Bigelow team called it a precognitive nonsense. What are they? There's a term. They refer to the phenomena at Skinwalker Ranch as a precognitive, sentient, non-human intelligence.
So there's
an intelligence based on the data. There is an intelligence operating on that ranch that has command over space, time, over consciousness, can manipulate closed systems in a split second without leaving a trace, and I believe has the ability to communicate if we can understand or develop a common language at some point to be able to interact. Eric Bard, in particular, has had communication with at least one of these entities involved with manipulating the systems that has command over the technology and the platforms, and has expounded on that a little bit. He'll be, I think, addressing that a bit more in the future. We're going to be discussing it on the docuseries this next year. But he's definitely seen and documented evidence that we're dealing with an intelligence that does have the desire to communicate.
Can you go into the communication a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, in his case, when he asked out of frustration for a sign, when he commanded when the systems were being manipulated and he was dealing with security violations that were occurring repeatedly with our surveillance cameras, he literally asked verbally, out loud, if you have something to show me, show me. If you have something to tell me, tell me. And in that instant, the screen morphed, melted, and digitally composed letters. He had the presence of mind, just as he did in October 2016, to screen capture what was happening with his iPhone. Thank heavens he proceeded to record and screen capture in real time what was happening with the equipment. And what was revealed was what I believe to be compelling evidence that we're dealing with an intelligence that is at least willing to acknowledge and wants their presence known.
Were you able to translate it into anything?
Yeah, it'll be shown on television, but it essentially had the simple response, again, instantaneously, of I living.
You're me.
So
Whoa.
Eric Bard, in response to a host of issues with the security cameras registering that there was something triggering the motion sensors, that there were countless events occurring. Upon giving that command, saw the entire screen morph and form the letters I living, and then snap back. All documented, all caught on camera. That has yet to be fully addressed on the docuseries, but is going to be addressed in the future. And it's really his story to tell, but if he were here, he'd be telling you the same story. It was compelling evidence that we're dealing with an intelligence on the ranch that has the ability to manipulate technology and systems instantaneously, and has the ability to communicate, and has intention. There's volition.
Wow. That is
It's spooky.
It is.
When you see the image, it's spooky.
Can we display the image, or do we need to
disturbing.
wait for the next season?
No, I think I'll give you the image. You can show it, but I think the greater story and the context and all the circumstances will be unfolded, and the related documentation. But I'd be happy to share it. In fact, if you want to show it on the screen right now,
I would love to.
You're welcome to put it up. But it is a compelling image and evidence of technology, manipulation, and intelligence that transcends anything that had been documented before that time at Skinwalker Ranch.
That is definitely spooky. I know that you had mentioned that Eric may not be fond of the camera, but man, I would love to interview him.
No, Eric is principal investigator and chief scientist at Skinwalker Ranch, resides on the property full-time, literally lives in the command center, and is monitoring all of the platforms. I mean, these are proprietary platforms that he has created. I mean, Satan, which stood for Sentinel Assignment, telemetry, something node. I've got to pull up it's been a while. And by the way, there's nothing insidious, there's nothing dark. It was just a funny acronym that he pulled out of the air that actually matched up with the proper description of the platform. He named the part of the surveillance platform that is capturing the events, Eve, event, viewer, something, extraction. He has a number of really fun names that he assigns to the various technology platforms there at Skinwalker Ranch. And that, we're preparing to deploy more technology than ever. The months ahead will turn heads. The level of sophistication and the number of sensors and really the technology that we're deploying with partners like Omnitech, I believe will reveal incredible insights.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.